This meeting is being recorded.
Got it. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Bridgewater Conservation Commission this 21st day of September. We do have a quorum, so we're going to open the meeting. It is 5:32 p.m. For the record, the members currently present are Eileen Prisco, member, Sarah Sperber, member, Steve Sobo, the environmental planner, Nicole Salvo, executive assistant, and myself, Wendy Smith, chair. I'll now read the governor's order for online meetings into the records. Disclosure pursuant to section 20 of chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting of the Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune into the meeting may do so via Zoom. The virtual Zoom meeting to attend the video, the link is posted on the website at bridgewaterma.org, along with a phone number for the meeting and the meeting ID. On the agenda tonight, we have two things under old business and ANRAD for 0 and 1300 Vernon Street, a notice of intent for 6 Aldrich Road. And the Conservation Commission business is a certificate of compliance for 500 South Street, a certificate of compliance for 37 Birch Hill. We have administrative items and we have discussion items. So tonight opening, we don't really have any new business. The old business we have is the ANRAD for 0 and 1300 Vernon Street, map 124, lot 2, 81, 6, and 12. The applicant representative, Silva Engineering, Manny, and we have Jennifer Bujinga. So I guess I would ask that, I believe, is Larry in?
I am covering the meeting tonight. I'm trying to change my name right now.
Okay, so you're covering for Larry?
There we go. See? There we go. Sorry. Yes, I am Rebecca from Silver Engineering. The last communication that was sent was on September 14th, 10:46 a.m. via email in answer to Matt Burns' question or statement, and it came from Larry. If you'd like, I can read it into the record. That's who we are at the moment. Does everybody have that? Do you have that letter, that email?
Yes. Well, yes, I believe so. I mean, you can read it in if you want.
Steve, in answer to Matt Burns, the definition of bordering vegetated wetland in 10.552 is as follows. 2, definition, critical characteristics and boundary. A, bordering vegetated wetlands are freshwater wetlands which border on creeks, rivers, streams, ponds, and lakes. The types of freshwater wetlands are wet meadows, marshes, swamps, and bogs. Bordering vegetated wetlands are areas where the soils are saturated and or inundated such that they support a predominance of wetland indicator plants. The ground and surface water regime of the vegetational community which occur in each type of freshwater wetland are specified in MGL chapter 131, section 40. End of quote. The regulation does not say that a man-made ditch with vegetation is to be considered a bordering vegetated wetland. The whole idea of the Wetlands Protection Act is to protect the natural water bodies. Nowhere does it say that a ditch showed to be treated as a river or stream. I respectfully disagree with Matt on this one. Sincerely, Lawrence P. Silva.
Thank you. Okay, so I don't know if people had a chance to see the map, but they're talking about the ditch that is in between 2 of the flagged areas. So that's what that's in reference to. Is Matt on?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Matt Burns, senior ecologist with BSC Group, with you tonight on behalf of the Conservation Commission, acting as your peer review consultant. So just by way of context, at our last meeting in August, I had gone through the things that I thought the plan required in order to come up to snuff with the ANRAD, and provided a memo to Silva Engineering, including a statement that the ditches coming out of the N series and D series wetlands should be flagged and shown on the plan. And we've been saying that from day one, back in March or April of 2021. On the 26th of August, the revised plans came out along with a memo that showed those N and D series wetlands as isolated, and the ditches were not included. And Larry provided a comment similar to the what was just read into the record, that the ditches were man-made and were non-jurisdictional. My response to that was that they need to be included, and we got on the September 14th that email from Larry, and so where we stand, I just wanted to sort of provide a little bit of background on ditches. In point of fact, there's no statement in the Wetlands Protection Act or its regulations exempting man-made features or stating the intention is to protect natural water bodies. And that was kind of what I was inviting Larry to provide. It was a regulatory citation exempting those ditches. If you look at the definition of stream at 310 CMR 10.04, it is defined as, quote, a body of running water, including brooks and creeks, which moves in a definite channel in the ground due to hydraulic gradient, and which flows within, into, or out of areas subject to protection under the Act, period. It doesn't say anything about origin. In the preamble to the bank section of the regulations at 310 CMR 10.541, the regulations state that, quote, where banks are composed of concrete, asphalt, or other artificial impervious material, said banks are likely to be significant to flood control and storm damage prevention. That's pretty clear that the regulations consider altered human-made features regulated, potentially regulated. And then finally, in the MACC handbook, which I realize isn't regulation or statute, but is kind of the go-to resource for our interpretations. It states, quote, man-made channels, swales, drainage ditches, culverts, and agricultural trenches are protected as streams if they drain upgradient resource areas. And that's at section 13.3.4.2, rivers, streams, and creeks. So, to my way of seeing things, this idea that man-made features are not regulatable is not supported. Those channels are clearly intermittent streams. They aren't BVW, but they make the N and D series wetlands into BVW because those vegetated wetlands border on an intermittent stream. So that's why they should be shown on the plans. And those N and D series wetlands should be identified as bordering vegetated wetland. And that's my story.
Thanks, Matt. And thanks, Rebecca. Let's see, Steve, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, Madam Chair. The only thing I'll add is I'm in agreement with Matt Burns' overall consensus on this site, and I'm going to be mainly assisting with carrying out the administrative function on this. So I just take the data that you've heard now from both sides, and that's why Matt's here, is to provide that perspective for you guys.
Okay, thanks. Members of the commission, do either of you have any questions or concerns? I mean, I will say, in looking at what was asked everything had been fixed and is accurate. The only thing that's missing is the flagging of the ditch in between these two isolated wetland pieces, but they are connected. So does anybody have any questions or comments?
No, I think with everything that Matt just said and from my knowledge of things that should be flagged, it's obviously going to have some sort of impact. So
Mhm. Thank you, Sarah. Eileen, do you have anything to add?
I'm in agreement with Sarah. Yeah, it should be flagged.
Yep. Is there anybody in the public that would like to ask a question, make a comment in reference to this wetland delineation of the ditch? Anyone see anybody's hand up?
I just asked folks that would like to make a comment to please use the raise hand function, or make yourself known on the screen and wave at me, and we can unmute your mic so that you can share. Thank you. Madam Chair, I'm not seeing anyone with a want or need to comment.
Okay, great. So I guess we'd look for a motion and
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, Wendy.
did you block me?
I meant to mute myself.
So I don't even know what I just said. So we want to make a motion. I know that a lot of work has been done on this. I think that we'd like to be able to move forward and wrap this up. It would be my opinion that it would be a good idea to have it flagged for future reference going forward. If anything's to be brought before the commission, that just be taken care of so we know what we're working with. So yeah, so my thought would be to leave this open, continue it, and draft an order of resource area delineation so that we can get things flagged and then maybe go forward with it at the next meeting.
Well, if we do that, then we would be closing and we wouldn't have any more information or be able to do any further investigation, correct?
If we leave it open, no. If I close it, if we close the meeting, we wouldn't be able to take in any new information or whatever. But if
Okay,
we leave it open, we continue it and we get an ORAD draft
Okay,
for next week, and then we can vote on it next week.
next meeting, you mean?
Next meeting, sorry, which is in
No,
3
that's
weeks.
fine. Matt Burns, are you still on?
Yes.
Okay, what's your opinion of that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. All they need to do is add those lines to their plan. I think, you know, it's already on there. It's shown. It just needs to be shown as a resource. I can provide a follow-up memo just with those citations that I provided, just for the record, if you want.
That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the chair's proposed continuing for one more hearing, just to allow the Silva team to put that together, but then go ahead and draft so that you're ready to vote and approve it at the next meeting. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Madam Chair, this is Jennifer DeBobry, and the Community Economic Development Director. I just wanted to, does the commission want to ask, and I'm not sure if Rebecca has the answer, but does she want to ask Rebecca if her team is going to be willing to comply with that request? If they're not willing, the commission may have a different vote ahead of them then. So it would be helpful to staff to know if Silva is intending to comply with the commission's
Go forward with
request.
that. Okay.
Yes.
So Rebecca, would you be willing to go forward just to flag the ditch area?
I'm speaking on behalf of the applicant and not for Silva, and I'm being told that that may not be what the applicant is wishing to do. But I do want to have Matt Burns provide his citations
Yep.
and really inform the applicant what he has. If I know the answer before next week, I will let you know. But I don't mind postponing the decision for one more week if you are willing. Either way, you have to draft your order, whether it's determined to be accurate except for this area. Perhaps it's written
Mhm.
such that we don't look at the dishes until later, and then you write that in there. I can't
Okay.
speak for the applicant, he's not here, but that is my understanding of the situation.
So then we're gonna be continuing it.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So I'll make a motion to continue 0 to 1300 Vernon Street till the next meeting, which is in 2 weeks, correct?
It's going to be 3, so it'll be October
Okay.
13th,
Okay, so October 17th, continue.
or 13th.
13th, I'm sorry.
I'll second
Thank
that,
you.
Harry.
Oh,
Hi.
hi, Harry.
Oh, my
All right,
computer,
thank you.
my computer decided to do an update.
Oh, yes, that's usually the way.
Yep,
So we have a motion to continue and we have a second.
second.
So
Yep.
we need a roll call vote. Eileen Prisco,
aye.
Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Sarah Sperber,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy Smith. Aye. All right, thanks. Continue to 10:13 at 5:30. Thanks, Rebecca. And if you hear anything, you can let Steve know after the applicant has his info.
Perfect. And
Thank you.
share some info. Thank you.
Yep. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome. I'll get a
Thank you,
memo
Matt.
out tomorrow, and I'll send it directly to the Silva team, if that's okay by the commission.
Sure.
And I'll
Sure.
copy
That's
you, of
fine.
course. Okay,
You might send a CC it to Steve, maybe.
yes, absolutely.
All right, great. All right, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Next up, under old business is a notice of intent for 6 Aldrich Road, map 20, lot 77. The applicant representative is Alton Beach Silva Engineering. And Rebecca, I think we're continuing, yes?
Yes, I have a continuation letter. It's being shown on the screen. I did send informal prints to Tansy. He admitted today that he hasn't had a chance to look at anything because of the MS4 requirements for the town that he's been diligently working on. He is hopeful that he'll get something back to me before the next deadline, and I'm hopeful that we can work this out, but he's swamped.
Yeah,
So
okay. All right, great. So we just need a motion to continue then.
Okay, so that is, I don't know if you want to have our newest member do these or what?
Do you mean to make a motion?
Yeah, because I know a couple times last meeting you were trying to help get her to.
Okay.
So we.
Sarah, would you
so
like
we
to make
kinda
a
teach her as
motion?
she goes.
Sure, I'll make a motion.
To continue 6 Aldridge Road.
Yep, to continue 6 Aldridge Road. 6 Aldridge Road, excuse me.
I will second that motion.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Sarah Sperber,
Aye.
Harry Bailey,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy Smith. Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca.
All right, next up is Conservation Commission business. We have a certificate of compliance for 500 South Street, map 62, lot 19. The applicant representative is Catalano Construction. It is for the school up on South Street behind in the back. And do we have somebody from Catalano Construction on?
We do not. I've been kind of carrying this one forward for them through their
Okay.
survey company. So this one, the last meeting, I believe it was the construction of a playground that was still ongoing within the buffer zone. And then there was 2 topsoil areas with seed that had not quite taken yet. I went by the site today in between bands of very heavy rain and hoping that the seed actually remains on site. a lot of the seed hasn't really taken fully yet, so it still needs a couple weeks to probably take, which means I would suggest that we continue this out, or suggest that the commission continue this out so that we can establish that stability within those areas that are to be seeded and to grow in.
Okay, sounds good. Commission members, anybody have any questions, thoughts?
Nope.
No, that sounds good.
Okay, Sarah,
Motion to continue 50 South Street. Did I get that right?
500.
500.
Yep. Map 62, lot 19. Do we have a second?
Second, Harry.
Thanks, Harry. And roll call vote, Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Sarah Sperber,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy Smith, aye. Thank you, folks. Next is a certificate of compliance for 37 Birch Hill. The applicant representative is Charlie Javier, and it is Silva Engineering. Who would like to speak on that?
I can make it quick for you, Rebecca.
You can certainly go ahead.
So this is, I managed to make it out to the site today because I'd been out to this site a few times over the last couple of years. So this filing was initially for a dock, some sort of structure out to the water on the nip. It's an area of critical environmental concern. I don't know if that had anything to do with this dock never being built, but the dock has never been built. So the project was never actually done. Therefore, as we see here on the screen, Larry Silva has certified that the work was never done on the site. So they're just looking to close it out so that they can do a real estate transaction. So.
Okay. Commission members, anybody have any questions?
No, I remember that. I remember trying and not getting it, so I remember the whole thing. So it's just a
All
sign
right.
up, right, Steve?
What was that, Eileen?
You're just signing off on it because
Yeah.
they never, yeah.
Because nothing was done.
All right, so do we have a motion to close if we have no other questions?
Sure. Motion to close 37 Birch Hill. Charles Javier, Silva Engineering.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Thanks, Harry.
Harry.
Yep. And roll call vote, Eileen Prisco.
Aye.
Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Sarah Sperber,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy Smith, aye. So they are all set.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Great. Yep, you're welcome. Have a good night.
Pardon me,
Next, yeah,
pardon me, Wendy, we closed the hearing, but do we have to vote to issue the COC?
okay, that's a
Oh,
good
sorry.
question. I did, yeah, well, because I wondered, do you issue a COC if there's,
Yes.
do you-
Yes.
are we
I
issuing an
apologize for
order of-
interrupting. I apologize. I just want to make sure.
No,
we all
that's
know that.
okay, but I kind of like,
Oh, she's right, yeah.
there isn't anything to certify because nothing was done, so I didn't know if we were
Well,
just closing it. and that's the motion.
Well, Wendy, if you look at the letter, so the letter says that the work on this, we're certifying, you guys are certifying as a commission that the work was never done. Therefore, the project's in compliance because that's one of the options on the form, is that the work was
Okay.
never done. So yeah, it is actually technically to issue.
So we do
Did
need
you
a
say close?
motion to
I
issue.
must have missed that.
Yeah, you didn't even have to close it. It wasn't a public hearing.
Yeah, it's not a public hearing, so you could just, with certificates of compliance, you just vote to issue, or not
Okay.
to issue, to continue, either
Vote to
issue,
rescind.
continue, or deny.
Okay, so then I need another motion to issue. Please.
Motion to issue.
The certificate of compliance
Yes.
for
the certificate.
37 Birch.
37 Birch Hill. Second.
We'll get there. Thank you. All right, and we'll do a roll call vote for that. Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Sarah Sperber.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we have administrative items. So the approval of meeting minutes for August 25th and September 8th. People have a chance to look at them. Are we okay with them?
I,
It's
I
okay.
looked at them, they looked fine.
yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Anybody else have any concerns about anything, or should we make a motion?
All right.
Sarah, you want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
All
I
right, motion to
can't because
approve
I
the-
didn't, I wasn't present, the
Oh, that's
September one.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Harry. Go ahead, Sarah.
A motion to approve the minutes for September 8th and August 25th.
Great. Thank you.
Second,
A second and a roll call vote. Harry, can you still do a roll call vote?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll approve the August one and I'll abstain from the September.
okay. You want to give me a second? I mean, a roll call vote? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Eileen,
aye.
Sarah,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. Thanks. Moving on, discussion items, environmental planner report.
You're not getting one this week because I've been out for 5 days. I've been,
Sorry you've been out, but
I've
it's
been
okay.
battling COVID, and that was brutal. That was awful. That was the worst experience of my life. So
Glad it's behind you.
yeah, it's behind me. I'm getting slowly better day by day, and hopefully by next meeting I'll be 100%.
3 weeks from now, we hope so.
Yeah, that's about the timeline I've been hearing on this thing. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so I guess with that, we only have one more motion to make.
Motion to adjourn.
Thanks, Harry. Second, someone?
I will second. It looks like Eileen disappeared.
Oh, she did? All right, thanks, Sarah. So roll call vote to adjourn with Sarah,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. So we're
Thank
done.
you.
Was that, thank you. Was that
Perfect,
quick
Wendy.
enough?
Yeah,
30
Yeah.
minutes.
I'm going to I'm
you're
going to
getting
bed.
better at it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this was kind of easy, except that ditch thing, but you know, hey.
Hey,